Okay. Can you read the first pasuk?
Well, I can't.
Yeah, have it. You have it, Aiden?
I thought I was at an Emor, but it's not. You said 26. Why did I see?
Chapter 22, verse 26.
I see 24. For some reason it ends at 26.
No, give it to me. Give it to me. Kobe, you read in the meantime while I get the page for Aiden. He got thrown off his grave because his grandma's here.
What pasuk is it?
Vavs. Right here. Right, the Bear Hashem al Moshe Emor here at the bottom. Okay, you got it, Kobe?
I see.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, go.
It just doesn't say club up next to it.
Yeah, it does at the end of it.
Oh yeah, I see.
Okay.
Vayidaber Hashem el Moshe le'emor.
Yeah, God spoke to Moshe saying, but that doesn't count. Read the next one.
Daber el.
No, Shor. Here, bring it to me. Here, Aiden, you read in the
Yeah.
meantime.
Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe le'emor.
Shor, not.
Shor.
What's a shore, by the way?
Shor. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what it is. A shore is a bull, but it's not a baby bull. It's a mature bull.
Okay.
You know, did you see the story yesterday that happened in Illinois where the bull got out of the
Pen or something?
yeah, a bull got out, was walking around town.
Really? Like
Yeah.
a baby bull or like a big bull?
A big bull.
Wow. We're in Illinois.
In University of Illinois, Champaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, go on. Shor o kesef. What's a kesef? Is a
Money?
no, that's kesef. A kesef or a keves, it's interchanged, is a sheep. So if an ox or a sheep, A's, what's an A's? An A's is a goat. Those are the only three animals that can be brought as a korban, as a sacrificial offering. A cow, a sheep, or a goat. Can you bring a deer as a sacrificial offering? No, but a deer is kosher, but you can't bring it as a sacrificial offering. Okay, go on.
Okay, so O is ki yivaled.
So when ki yivaled mean to say when it is born. So when these animals are born, okay, go on.
Bahaya shivat yamim tachat imo.
So then it has to remain with its mother for 7 days. Go on.
Umiyom hashmeni bahalal yeratzeh lekarban isa.
Isha.
Isha.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Okay, so an animal, an ox or a sheep or a goat, when it'll be born, it will be 7 days. You can't bring it as a sacrifice until the 8th day.
Because it's too young?
The Torah doesn't tell us why. It just says that after an animal is born, you can't sacrifice it until the 8th day. It doesn't give a reason.
It's fair. I mean,
what do you mean fair? Why?
Because I don't know, it's too young.
What do you mean too young? 8 days is not too young? What's the difference? It doesn't tell us why, but it just says that that's the reason. You can put into AI why, but Rashi points out something. When it's born, it comes to exclude an animal as Yotzi Dofen. If the animal will be born by a cesarean section, you know what that is?
Yeah, when they cut open.
Yeah, so an animal born by cesarean section can never be brought as a korban. It's disqualified as a korban. What?
It can't be holy, or
it can't be brought as a sacrificial offering on the temple. And now we have, so that was what? The
animal.
The animal that's born by a cesarean section cannot be brought as a sacrifice. The mother presumably would die. If you're cutting open an animal to allow it to give birth, it's not going to survive. Up until the modern period, nobody, human or animal, would survive a C-section because, you can't survive without anesthesia.
In ancient Egypt, there's evidence of C-sections.
Yeah, but the mother would die.
Yeah.
Look into AI. In the pre-modern world, did a mother ever survive C-sections? Yeah, because they always died in C-sections because they couldn't do the surgery without the anesthesia. No. Let's just see if it's possible. I assume every single one died. Maybe there's 1 in a billion. There's always 1 in a billion, but I assume. What do they say, Aiden?
It said it's mainly being about. I want to see were there any exceptions?
It says you couldn't survive.
It said yes. Yes, there were some real exceptions, but they were rare enough that people wrote about them because they were unusual.
Right.
Okay, maybe.
1500s.
So in the
I don't see
1500s,
anything about ancient Egypt. I don't.
so in the 1500s, a woman survived a C-section. Okay, so you have like once every millennia, a person survives.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was.
It was extraordinarily rare. And an animal, they wouldn't survive
And
either.
it says, but it does say in ancient societies there was that C-sections were performed often after the mother already died, but she was pregnant, and they
Right.
would do it to save the baby.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Oh, Jonathan. No, I'm saying they want to save the baby, otherwise they have no choice.
Yeah.
They have no choice.
They knew that she was already dead, so they.
And Jewish law discusses this. Let's say the mother is in distress while she's giving birth. The mother's in distress while she's giving birth. Then the Mishnah says you kill the baby to save the mother before the baby's born. But once the baby's born, they both have equal right to life. That's the law. How you doing, Noam? Grab a chumash. What do you call your grandma, Aiden?
Bubby.
Bubby's here tonight.
Yeah.
We're so happy that Bubby's came to join us. Okay. Okay, Kobe, read the next pasuk. What page are we on, Aiden?
On page 682.
682.
Very top.
Okay. Read the next pasuk, Kobe.
That
Chaf Chet 28. It begins with the words Vishor.
Or Sen.
Vishor Baseh
Vishor Oseh.
Baseh.
No, you're not reading the right one. Kobe, bring it here again.
683. 683.
Kobe!
I'm literally on the page that you first put it on. Vishor Baseh.
Yeah, now you got it. Yeah, now you got it. Now you're talking. Now you're talking, Kobe.
No.
Now that's what you're raised for greatness right now. Okay, go on. Excellent. Shor Oseh. So the shor we said is a bull or an ox. Oseh, that is a lamb or a kid. Oso v'espino, an ox or a lamb, it and its offspring. Lo tishchatu b'yom echad. You're not allowed to slaughter it on the same day. So there's a prohibition from the Torah that you're not allowed to slaughter the ox on the same day.
Same day of.
As the mother.
Oh, yes.
You can't, the mother and the child cannot both be slaughtered on the same day. So let's say you go to the store and you buy a baby lamb. You have to know for sure that the mama is not killed that day. This shows that all of Israel is connected to each other. It's your responsibility to make sure that you have to know where that mother is, to know it's not slaughtered today. Because if it's slaughtered today, then you're in violation if you kill that child, that offspring. So you have to, that you're responsible. Let's say there be one Jew in Jerusalem, and then the mother is in Tel Aviv. They need to be in touch with each other to make sure they're not slaughtering it the same day. Because if they slaughter,
well, wouldn't the person not be selling it in the first place if he knew that the mother would be?
A butcher's a butcher. He's going to tell them. He's going to say, I sold this animal today. You have to wait till the next day or something. But you have to be, so the butcher's responsibility was to tell people when it was the busy season. That's what the Mishnah says. When there were 3 times a year, it was the busy season, then they had to tell people about the animals being slaughtered.
It's the same thing as the other thing where they didn't have a reason for it. It just said it.
No, this is what's the reason for this, right? What's the reason? Doesn't give us a reason. Right. It does, but doesn't mean this one we could find the reason. This is not necessarily a chok, because if we thought about it, we could come up with a reason. Let's see what Rashi says first. Noeg ben nekeva. So first of all, this is a dispute in the Talmud, and Rashi says it applies to the mother. There's a dispute in the Talmud. Actually, we're going to get to this in Chulin, whether this applies to, you're not allowed to kill the father and the offspring, or just the mother and the offspring? Or are you also prohibited to kill the father? Well, how are you going to know who the father is? That takes even more effort to figure out who the papa is.
Yeah.
You're going to do a paternity test. It's prohibited to slaughter the mother and his offspring on the same day. Ve'enu noeg b'scharim. If Rashi paskins, it doesn't apply to males. You could slaughter the father and the son on the same day. This is Chulin 78b. But the footnote here, which we're going, God willing, we're going to start Chulin on Shabbos. We're going to start that tractate that deals with all the laws of kosher. Other halachic authorities are in doubt as to whether the prohibition applies to the father as well as the mother. So that's, I said it's a dispute. So Rashi doesn't say it. Osovias beno, af beno va'osova mashma. It doesn't matter which one is slaughtered first. If it's the father slaughtered first or the mother slaughtered first, either way, it's a prohibition. What's the reason for it? The Torah doesn't tell us, but I mean, we could speculate. What's the reason?
What's the reasoning for not doing it the same
That that it's a prohibition to slaughter them both on the same day.
Because I don't know.
We don't know either. We have to think about it. Maybe it's too cruel. Maybe it's a midah of achzarios. It's a harshness. It doesn't say in the Torah. Anything is speculation. Okay, Noam, you read the next pasuk. Okay, so if you slaughter a zevach todah, what's a todah? What does todah mean?
Thanks.
Very good. If you do a Thanksgiving offering to Hashem, it shall be an appeasement for you. What does that mean? Rashi says as follows: Tchilat zevichatchem. At the outset of your slaughter, you should be careful that it should be an appeasement. What does that mean? That you can't have an improper thought. An improper thought when you do the slaughter is called pigul. Normally, we say that when you do a mitzvah, you fulfill the mitzvah even if you didn't have the proper intention. Let's say you drink the wine on Friday night.
You didn't say the bracha?
Or you weren't in, let me see. Let's say you put the tzitzit on and you weren't intending to fulfill the mitzvah of tzitzit. You were just wearing the tzitzit without intending to fulfill that mitzvah. You still fulfilled it. But when it comes to a korban, if the intent is the essence of it. Because if you don't have the right intent in sacrificing this animal, you're just killing an animal. You're not saying, okay, I didn't have the intent, but I still fulfilled the mitzvah. No, you have not fulfilled your obligation if you don't have the 100% right intent when you kill this animal, because otherwise you're just killing the animal. So Rashi says, or it's Ochem Tizbachu.
Couldn't you use that logic for every other mitzvah too? Like you just like the tzitzi one, if you're saying that you're just putting it on, you just say, oh, you don't have the right intent, you're just putting on a shirt with.
Right, you could use it for the other ones, but they don't. And one of the reasons why I think they don't is because by killing the animal, it's a destructive act. It's a destructive act. So if you don't have the right intent, it's all of a sudden an act of cruelty and harshness.
But I'm sure.
How you doing, Ez?
Baruch
Hashem.
So you're saying the only reason why those are bad is because if it wasn't for the korban, it would be an act of wickedness or whatever.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything. It has to be, the sacrifice all has to be about the proper intent. Without the proper intent, it's nothing. Okay. Aiden, you read the next one.
Which one are we again?
Lamed.
Bayom Havu Yachel.
Oh, Mayor, come grab a chumash, Mayor.
Low tier 2.
What?
Mimenu Ad.
Oh, you just sit right here, Mayor. We got you.
Ad Boker Ani, I don't know.
Here, you sit. Hold on, Kobe. Let Mayor have your chumash and you get another one because he might not know where they are today. Here. By the way, I hope Aaron is coming again, Scheinkoff. He told me he's coming. Yeah, there's a whole mix up yesterday. I'll confirm it with him. Hold on.
Should I say that again or no?
Hold on. Yeah. So no, I'll translate what you read. You read it beautifully. It says, on that day, on that day you shall eat it. You're not allowed to leave it over afterwards till the morning. And this is teaching us that the day you eat it cannot be left over until the morning. You have to have the right intent. You have to have completely the right intent. It says, I am Hashem, and I know what's your intent. Rashi says, Al davar v'al yikal b'nachat. Do not let it be light in your eyes. Okay. Mayor, you read Pasuk Lamed Aleph. Ushmartem otam. Ushmartem mitzvotai. You have the page?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, Mayor. Look. Geschmack, Mayor. Geschmack. Ushmartem mitzvotai. And you shall guard my commandments, and you shall do them. I am Hashem. Ushmartem mitzvotai. This is the Mishnah. This is the obligation to study. Va'asitem otam, you shall do them. I am Hashem. Okay, go on. Now we have a very important commandment. What is the next one? Who's going to read? Who wants to read Lamed Bet? Kobe. Kobe volunteered. And Kobe also volunteered to pick up the pizza. So afterwards, there's pizza. Thank you, Kobe. Okay, go on. Velo techalu.
Sorry. Velo techalu. Shem Parti Vin Nigdashti B'toch B'nei Yisrael Ani Hashem Nigdash.
Mekadesh Shem, right. So this is the commandment of Chilul Hashem and Kiddush Hashem. And here it refers specifically, unfortunately, tragically, so many times throughout Jewish history, Jewish people gave their lives al Kiddush Hashem. Do you know what it means to give your life al Kiddush Hashem?
Like die in the name of Hashem, like if they tell you to like bow down to them or something.
You gave your life in service to Hashem, like all the Chayalim who were killed. They in action, they gave their life in service of Hashem. It's called Kiddush Hashem. But the Chilul Hashem is a desecration of God's name. So I'll read the Rashi. So you're not allowed to defile my words, mizidin, intentionally. So it says you shall not defile it. So from the fact that it says that, I learned, says Rashi, that there's a positive commandment to sanctify God's name. Surrender yourself and sanctify my name, meaning to say that you should become a martyr if they say to you, violate the Torah or certain commandments, but if they say in public, violate the Torah, if it's a time of persecution, and they pull you into the center square and they say, eat this pig, or I will kill you. So what does the Torah say? So Rashi says the Torah is telling us, what are you dealing drugs there? So the Torah is telling us under those circumstances, you never know here. The Torah says that under those circumstances that you're obligated to give up your life because it's a public desecration of God's name. So you're obligated. This is called Kiddush Hashem. And it happened many times in Jewish history that they gave over their lives. I'll continue Rashi. I might think that if you need that also, if this violation happened while you were just in private, that the person comes over to you in private, points a gun at your head and says, eat this pork or I will kill you. I might think you have to eat the pork. So the answer is only amongst the congregation of Israel, only in public. So the Talmud, the way the Talmud explains this, the way that it lands on this is that if it's in public and it's a violation in public, then even Arkasa de Masana, even if they tell you to change the color of your shoelaces, if everybody, all the idolaters wore black shoelaces and you wore white shoelaces, and it's a time of persecution like the Holocaust, Rahman al-Atsan, and they say change your shoelaces, then you say, because they're trying to say like you're not Jewish. It would be like the equivalent to say, take off your kippah. There's no commandment in the Torah to wear a kippah. So if it's a time of persecution and in public they say, take off your kippah, then you say, I'm not doing that. Then you say you give up your life. But if it's in private, then there's only 3 sins which you have to give up your life rather than violate. What are the 3 sins? Idolatry, murder,
Sexual.
and adultery. So, however, even though this was the case for many years, the Piazetz Nerav, known as the Eish Kodesh, he said, he was the rabbi of the Warsaw Ghetto. And he said, during the Warsaw Ghetto uprising, he said, this law that even if they said, let's say, take off your kippah, you'd have to give up your life if it's a time of persecution. That was only during a time where the enemy was trying to make you become not religious, not a good Jew. But during the time of the Nazis,
Is that making noise again? I shut it off. Dan, shut this thing off.
Aiden, what's the matter with you? So during the
I mean, I closed it. I thought.
You're good. You're providing a lot of inspiration to us.
We're nice to visitors.
I have a hearing aid, so I,
Bobby, you're good. You're good, Bobby.
oh.
But says the Eish Kodesh.
His mother.
I'll do not disturb.
Let's turn it on.
No, don't shut out your mom. So
No, it's okay. She's called us twice already.
3 times now.
Thank you.
I don't know how to use the sample.
you shut down Lisa. Tell her if she wants to talk to us, she should come on the Zoom. She should come on the Zoom. Anyway,
Wait, I have a quick question.
wait, let me finish the sentence, Aiden. Oh my gosh. So during the time of persecution where the Nazis were trying to kill the Jews, the Eish Kodesh said, then the most important thing you could do at that point is to stay alive. So then he said, this prohibition, this commandment to give up your life for, let's say, something insignificant because they're trying to make you not religious, just the opposite. The most important thing you could do during the Warsaw Ghetto uprising was to try and stay alive and fight. And that was the message he gave then. So you have to use your seichel when you figure this out. But yes, Aiden.
Wait, so that was said right here, like in Lamed, or that was said in the Rashi, and Rashi got that based off of
The Talmud inferred it from the fact that it says you can't desecrate my name. The Talmud said that means that you are obligated to sanctify the name of Hashem. And how do you sanctify the name of Hashem? By giving up your life.
Isn't that pretty like that's a lot, that's like pretty like extreme coming from like just saying you can't desecrate my name to saying you have to give up your life, like isn't that like a very
It is true that you don't necessarily have to give up that conclusion. You don't necessarily have to go to that.
it's a very like
But it is interesting that right now, this portion of Emor, as your Bobby was saying, was read this time of year. It's almost always read this time of year. And it's almost always read, actually, it might even be always. It's always read a few weeks before, like 3 weeks before. No, Shavuos, because Bahar B'Chukosai is always read 2 weeks before. The curses are always read 2 weeks before. So Emor is always read in the month leading up to Shavuos. At this time of the year, do you know why we don't shave nowadays, this week? Why don't we shave this week?
Mourning
Why are we mourning?
for the temple, right?
No, we're not mourning for the temple this week. What are we mourning for?
Students.
We're not mourning for the students of Rabbi Akiva. The reason why we have these mourning practices of not shaving is because in the 11th century, the Crusaders in 1096, they heard a call from Pope Urban II in 1095 to go and conquer Jerusalem. And they said, before we go to conquer Jerusalem, let us first kill the infidels amongst us. who are the Christ killers, talking about the Jews. And there were no other religions living amongst Latin Christendom other than Jews. So in 1096, they massacred more than 90% of German Jewry at that time in the major three cities. You know what they're called? Kehilat Shum, Spires, Worms, and Magenza. They killed everyone except for like just a few survived. And those people, because we're mourning for them, that's why we have the mourning practice. That's when these mourning practices were instituted about not shaving, getting a haircut. Now, in that context, there were many people, what they said to them, they came to them and said, convert to Christianity or we will kill you. And most of the Jews there said, kill us. And not only that, and this is the most tragic of all, there were many Jews there, or some Jews, who saw that they were going to kill them and then take their children and kidnap their children after they killed them and steal their children and raise their children as Christians. So what do you think they did? They killed their own children so that the children would not be raised as the Christians. So this is the context of which Rashi is writing this passage where their Jews are being massacred and Jews are giving up their lives rather than convert to Christianity. It's interesting. Somebody says, okay, why do you have a beard now? Well, it's the time of mourning. Somebody comes up to you, Mo, and says, why aren't you shaving? You say, it's the time of mourning. You say, what are you mourning for? You say, well, almost 1,000 years ago, some Jews were killed. Almost 1,000 years ago, some Jews were killed, but we remember it today and we mourn because we are so deeply connected to them. You know, like if you come up to, let's say, a Frenchman and you say, 1,000 years ago in France, there was a massacre. Do you think that Frenchman today is going to not shave? No. He's going to be mourning? No, he's not mourning. He's not expressing any mourning. But we feel so connected to that moment as though it happened just recently, because we understand that as Jews, they are our grandfathers, they are our grandmothers, they are our ancestors, and also, and this is the most important, we understand it can happen again at any second, and that's why we have to be vigilant. That's the concept here. That's the concept here. Okay, I mean, let us daven mincha at this time. Let's daven mincha, and then we'll have the pizza and the and shmura matzah. We can set up the mechitza there, Aiden. Set up the mechitza for them.
Wait, me and my grandma, can y'all have